Madam Rajavi, distinguished guests, and most importantly, those of you at Liberty that I know will get an opportunity, hopefully, to see this. I want to start, and this is going to be a little bit different than the way I normally have the honor of talking with all of you, because a lot's happened since September. And it's been very difficult for me because unlike people in my own State Department or many people around the world who saw the murders, it's not a number 52 to me. It's a Hossein Mandani. It's Miss Giddy. I know them personally. So it's not just a number that takes place. I'd like to start real quick, though, and add to what the Honorable Bernard Coker said. I was listening very close to what he spoke, and he said it's Iraq's responsibility to protect the people of Liberty. I'd like to tell you, because I heard it firsthand 10 years ago, it's an American responsibility to protect the people of Liberty, and we promise to do it. Well, the State Department told me in the winter of 2003, almost 10 years ago to the day, put a little pressure on them and 90% will defect. Zero. I'd like to address the people at Camp Liberty right now. Very few Americans had the honor of spending as much time at Ashraf as I did. And I say an honor. And it started out a whole lot differently, and you've heard this from me, but 10 years ago this month, and I pulled my notes, I have them up in my room here. 10 years ago, we had just completed phase 1, which was an effort to put pressure on the people to defect. Well, you did go through it, and you persevered. And we gave you a promise in writing that the United States would protect you. You were a protected person under the 4th Geneva Convention. At the time, I actually thought that I would consider becoming a diplomat after my time in service. But watching phase 2 take place in the spring of 2004 and watching what my own State Department, members within it, did over the remaining past 10 years, they directed me, actually ordered, and I'm a soldier, I followed orders, put pressure on them, and we had to report daily. 0. Next day, 0. The State Department became very upset. Closed. Well, 10 years later, I can tell you, I want nothing to do with that organization and being a diplomat there because I don't believe in lying, misleading, and giving falsehoods. Let's just take a look over 10 years. We promised you protection. A lot of good that promise was. We promised you that if you relocated, and I was part of a small delegation that came to see 2 years ago members of your organization to convince them, to try to convince Madam Rajavi to talk to you about moving to Camp Liberty because it was going to be safer. False. It was going to be a temporary camp. 2 years isn't my definition of temporary with no end in sight. There is a plan the State Department has to protect you. Yeah, they protected real well, didn't they? And then there is a plan to rapidly relocate all of the people at Liberty. I can count in very few hands the number of people that actually have been able to relocate, and there's still 3,000 of them in a concentration camp, one of the worst camps we have seen in recent history. And we promised to protect you. Months after many of my friends, and some of my friends were killed in the other attacks, but some of my close friends were there. I wanted to just say very quickly about my one friend. He's not just a name I dealt with. Hossein Mandinani talked to me about when he learned to water ski in the United States and fell down on his face in the water. We laughed about things like that. We talked about the future of a free Tehran. We talked a great deal. And I want to mention a quote. Normally, Madam Rajavi knows, and many of you know, I like to be very upbeat. But this quote has been haunting me for 10 years now, but more so since September. It was right at the end of the humiliating Phase 1. It was outside of Unit 5 at Ashraf. I was emphasizing to Hossein, you will be protected. I mean, I believe this. The State Department told me so. We're going to protect you. It's my soldiers are going to be here to protect you. He made a quote. I have it written in both Farsi and in English in my notes. David, I hope good things come out of our cooperation with you. What good things came out of that cooperation with us? You know, people shun me for speaking out back in the States. They disagree with me for speaking out. But I believe in the values my country was founded on. I believe in democracy. I believe in gender equality. I believe in freedom. So how can I not speak out for all of you? And I'll continue to speak out. Thank you very much.